And welcome back, everyone, to Who Would Win. The week of Who Would Win's over, so we start a new month. And starting out the month, and this week's Who Would Win, we have from Shadows 82, Michael Myers versus John Winchester, the father of Dean and Sam from the Supernatural series. Arguably one of the best hunters in the entire series. His job is to hunt down and protect people from supernatural threats, monsters, spirits, demons, all that. And he's damn good at his job. The Winchesters are well known and dangerous and good at what they do. But would he actually be able to kill Michael Myers? Assuming we gave him access to everything he has available, including something like the Colt, which can kill all but like 5 things in the universe, according to Lucifer. I think, as he put it, there's about 5 things in the universe in existence that thing can't kill, and I just happen to be one of them. I'm guessing the Colt can't, unless it's modified, can't kill Lucifer, Michael, God, Death, and probably Gabriel, because there's only 3 archangels. Well, no, there's more than one archangel. There's just, or maybe Amara or something like that, the God's sister, something like that. But point being, yeah, it can generally kill everything else. At least in the general sense of the term. Like in terms of like a human gets shot with a Colt, as far as I know, they won't actually die in the same way, say, an angel or a demon would die, because the angels and demons technically don't have a physical form. They have to take a physical form by possessing someone. Did all that in one breath. Although, to be fair, I've never seen anyone get actually shot with the Colt who, if I remember correctly, wasn't possessed, or wasn't an angel or a demon or whatever. So that leads us to the question of, could he actually kill Michael Myers? Because Michael Myers, as we know, he's a tough son of a bitch. Now, Michael Myers has gone through many different incarnations. Like the main series, if we're talking about the original Halloween, leading into, like, say, the Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, Halloween Dies, or Halloween Kills, or whatever. I can't remember where Halloween ends. He's not the boogie. He's called the boogeyman. He's durable and can take a lot of damage, but he's not the boogeyman. He's not supernatural. He can take a lot of damage and somehow recover. Like Laurie even says, I believe, in the second of the new series, every time he kills, he transcends. But there's no actual evidence on that he's supernatural or not. He's just, there's nothing to back it up. Whereas in the original run of the movies, Halloween 1 and 2 are connected, but then 1 and 4 ignores 2. That got so convoluted. Point being, he is supernatural. The Cult of Thorn put a curse on him to basically be a revenant, more or less. Highly durable, can't physically die. Can't physically die. He's just physically, he can be hurt, he can be knocked out, but we never see him really be put into a scenario where he can be true. Like, no one ever tries to take his head off in those original, the Curse of Michael Myers, all that scenario. Like in the original first one, 3rd through 6th, no one tries to take his head off, blow him up, or anything like that. And now, he did survive an explosion, but it's clear he wasn't at the epicenter of the explosion. His clothes were not damaged. He was smoking, but he was clearly a ways away from the explosion. But it was enough to put him into a year-long coma. But because of his supernatural enhancements, he didn't deteriorate in physicality or anything like that, or need to eat. So, yeah, the supernatural version of Michael is pretty intense and pretty durable, but at the same time, then you get into H2O and Resurrection, you get into the Rob Zombie stuff where there just doesn't seem to, where there's no confirmed supernatural anything to him. He just seems to be very intelligent, highly durable, kind of unstoppable. He did survive being burned alive, though, in the Resurrection. So ultimately, he's pretty durable no matter what. Insanely strong, stronger than a normal man, easily able to overpower a normal person. You need a degree of super strength to take this guy on. You do. or you just need to be like the Mountain or something like that. The actor who plays the Mountain, I can't remember his name, but like he's huge and jacked, and therefore he'd be possibly able to beat or match Michael Myers. Michael's also like flipped. I don't know, actually. Is that true? Has he flipped cars? I don't think he's flipped cars, but he's broken through windows. He's broken down through barriers, like physical barriers, like doors and stuff, without too much difficulty. He's the boogie. He's the unstoppable force. And I mean, he's relatively intelligent, but compared to someone who's actually intelligent, like an actual like genius or tactician, he is certainly not as smart as someone like that. But at the same time, he's still capable of being quite clever when he needs to be. And he's usually wielding, like, say, a butcher knife or something like that. That'd be his main weapon, but he can use just about anything. The only thing he doesn't seem to use is firearms, and it's not to say he doesn't know how to use them. He just is, because maybe he's a psychopath, prefers close-up kills. So in a fight between these guys, it would be interesting because there have been episodes where they've been dealing with straight humans, not supernatural entities. And they're not trained to handle humans. They're trained to handle supernatural entities. So John, maybe fighting this guy, wondering if he's if he's a revenant or something like that, would probably struggle against this guy pretty hard. But at the same time, he is also armed with bullets. And bullets, unless you get like a clean headshot, and I mean you put multiple in his head, won't stop Michael. In fact, he's been shot in the face a couple times, had his eyes shot out, and been just fine. He's been shot in the face and survived. So you need to blow the brain out. That's what you need to do with this guy. Even shooting him in the heart is not a guaranteed win. Because in like Halloween Ends, he literally he got his hand split in half. 70-some-odd-year-old Michael, mind you, hand split in half, throat cut, stabbed in the chest, and he still managed to survive for a while. So it's amazing how durable this guy really is. But that being said, if John just brings out the shotgun and starts laying into him, and John is someone who would make sure the son of a bitch is dead, then that's kind of all she wrote. Even for the Cult of Thorn Michael, we never really see what happens if you were to just put a shotgun straight to his head and pull the trigger. Now, granted, he might not go for the head immediately. He would just kind of walk off, and then Michael, but because he's a hunter and he's got solid enough instincts, he realized this guy's getting back up. What the hell? He's not human. Or is he? I don't know. Just boom, boom. He'd lay everything he could into Michael. The problem for John, though, would also be getting in close with Michael. Michael would F him up in a close range fight. There's no doubt about that. And the problem that the Winchesters as a whole, the family as a whole, find themselves in when it comes up to fights is they get their asses kicked regularly, too. They're just guys in good shape. They're not supernaturally enhanced in any way. So there's no way John could take Michael in a straight fight, like fisticuffs, physicality. But if Michael grabs him, he still would probably have a knife on him and start like stab him in the neck, whatever. Problem is, Michael has walked that shit off before. And that being said, a stab to like the neck would probably force him to drop John, as he would be like, and and we know that more serious wounds, even for the Cult of Thorn Michael, can be cumbersome for him. So, like if he gets stabbed in the neck, he could survive it. He legitimately could. But he's got to like recover. He's got to get time to recover. So that might be enough for John to start, putting in the lead in him, and ultimately putting him down. But that's all for the mortal version, the human version of Michael. What about the mystically enhanced Cult of Thorn version? Well, this ironically would be something that if they had an initial confrontation and John survived but saw the mark, he'd probably go to Bobby. They'd study it. The Cult of Thorn. And Norse base. Thor and all that? Similar to that, but different. Well, is there any way to beat it? Yeah, well, the only known way to do that is this. So this will be kind of one of those lure him into a trap, undo the curse of Thorn, stuff. And ultimately, just wait, and then, unload him. So John, as long as John did not get into a close range confrontation with Michael, as long as he didn't do that, he would probably win. And luckily, even if he did get, say, caught by Michael, maybe he's like trying to crush John's head, John does regularly have a very big ass knife on him, so he can start body blowing him with a knife, and that would be at least enough for Michael to drop him to get away, and live to fight another day for another fight. Now, if you're going to say then who wins that initial confrontation, well, then Michael actually technically wins that initial confrontation because he runs away. But if we're talking about who wins in the long-term fight, I do think John Winchester would. While they're not trained to handle humans, it's not like they can't fight humans. They just are more trained to fight supernatural threats. So when they deal with a normal human threat, or maybe just a more enhanced psychotic human threat, well, then it gets a little bit more difficult for them to manage. There have been several times where the boys have been dealing with regular humans, and it's just not, they weren't prepared for it. So, or they struggled a bit harder. And then you get humans who like enhance themselves. I know in, what was it? It's in season 9 where we get Mark Kane Dean, where he's fighting off that family who are like putting organs in them to keep themselves alive. Obviously, they're human, but they're doing some messed up shit. Regardless, that's my thoughts. I think John Winchester wins the majority, but there are definitely encounters where Michael Myers would take it. But who do you got? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Later.